There are some simple ways for seniors to improve blood flow and circulation in their legs without needing to do tons of walking. And in today's video, I'm going to show you what those ways are. If you don't know who I am, my name is Harlow and I'm the Over-Fifties Specialist Physio here at HT Physio in Farnham. And I'm going to be showing you today 4 brilliant exercises that seniors can use to improve the blood flow in their legs. Now, limited blood flow is a problem for many people who are over the age of 60. And the reason it's a problem is because limited blood flow causes issues like swelling in the lower legs, and the swelling can decrease people's mobility and increase the chances of horrible things like DVTs, which is a deep vein thrombosis. Now, deep vein thrombosis is basically a blood clot that occurs in the lower leg, and if it's dislodged, it can cause major issues like pulmonary embolism, stroke, and heart attacks. So improving blood flow to the legs is vital for basically maintaining life, but it's also vital for improving mobility. If you don't have good blood flow to your legs, then you're not going to be able to use your muscles very well. Your legs are going to feel tired when you walk, and you're basically just not going to be able to do as much exercise as you might like. So in today's video, I'm going to give you some easy ways to improve your blood flow. One of the best ways to improve blood flow, of course, is walking, but many of the people in my audience can't walk as far as they would like for whatever reason. Sometimes that's because they have an injury, sometimes it's arthritis, sometimes it's because they have poor circulation anyway, so that walking more just simply hurts. So this video is going to be perfect for anyone who can't walk as much as they want, but they still want to improve their blood flow. So let's have a look at these 4 exercises. Many of them can be done from a chair. I'm going to walk you through each one and explain how they work. Now, the key to improving blood flow in the legs is to use something called the muscle pump. And the muscle pump is basically a mechanism that exists within our legs, which means that as blood flows down towards the toes, because it's moving against gravity, it needs something else to push it back up again. And we don't have anything inside the veins that do that. Now, luckily, we do have our muscles. And as our muscles contract, they effectively pump the blood back up the legs towards the heart again. And that is how circulation works. So we need to get our muscles in our legs working. And I'm going to give you 4 great exercises that do just that. So the first couple of exercises are going to be done from a chair. The reason we're doing them from a chair is because a lot of my audience, they can't walk and they can't stand for long, but you can still improve your circulation from a chair. So I'm going to show you how I would do the first one. And I call this exercise ankle pumps. Basically, what you need is a nice sturdy chair or somewhere comfortable like a sofa, and you need something in front of you like another chair or a footstool, and probably a couple of pillows on top of it. And the reason we've got the pillows on top is because we want to put our leg on top of this, and we want our leg or our foot to be higher than our hip. So I'm going to set myself up like this. So you can see I have one leg up on top of the chair and the pillow like so. So if I just turn the chair slightly, you'll be able to better see it here. I'm relaxed into the chair at the back here, and my foot is a little bit higher than my hip. So this is how we set up. If you're comfortable doing it, you can have the other one up as well, but I'm just going to show you one leg at a time. The exercise is really, really simple. We're going to be using our calf muscle basically to pump the blood away from the feet and the legs, back up the leg towards the heart. And we do that just by pointing the toes down and then bringing them back up towards you. It's as simple as that. So we're basically trying to activate this muscle pump by pointing the toes and lifting them back up. And as you do this, you're going to try and do it nice and swiftly. Don't worry about doing it really slowly. It should be a nice brisk movement. We are literally trying to pump the blood back away. And you're going to try and repeat this for a couple of minutes. And you'd be surprised after a few minutes how sort of tired the leg feels in a good way. That's because the muscles are working quite hard. And this is a really good mechanism to get that blood flowing. So I recommend that everyone, whenever they're sat down, if they're worried about the circulation in their legs, they have their leg up like this, as long as it's comfortable to do so, and that should pump the blood back up. Now I'm going to give you a quick caveat. Someone who I would not recommend this for is anyone who suffers with sciatica, because this position is not great if you've got sciatica in this leg, so don't do it if you have sciatica. And obviously, as with all of the exercises on this video, if you're not sure, make sure you get checked out by a doctor before you try them. Now, a second great exercise that you can use to improve the blood flow in your legs is something I call the seated calf raise. And this is a great exercise for seniors who can't walk as much as they would like and they want another exercise that they can safely do from a chair. So the exercise is super simple. All you need to do is find a nice sturdy chair and you're going to shuffle towards the edge of it so that your feet are flat on the floor and your knees and hips are about 90 degrees. And the simple version of the exercise looks just like this. So with your feet flat on the floor, you're just going to use your toes to lift your heels up in the air and then slowly come back down. So it's a real simple movement and you're contracting the calf muscle near the bottom of the lower leg. So the muscles we're working here are called the soleus muscles, and these are very important for walking. They live in the lower half of the calf, and basically they're also responsible for pumping some of the blood back up towards the heart. Now, for many people, this is going to be really, really simple. So there is a way to make this more advanced, and this is the way I recommend most people do it. And the way you make it more advanced is basically just bring your forearms forward and rest your forearms on your thighs. And you want to be pressing your body weight down a little bit into your thighs. And once you're in this position, you just repeat. So now I'm pushing not just the weight of my legs, but also some of my upper body weight as well. So I'm pushing it a little bit harder there. I can feel the soleus muscles working a bit harder as I push up. And we're just going to try and do up with 2, down with 2, up with 2, down with 2, like that, so that the movement is steady. And you're probably going to feel that after 15 or 20 repetitions, you get a bit of tiredness at the bottom of the calf. That's a really good thing. That means that the muscles are working well. And this is another great exercise for improving blood flow and circulation. All of these exercises should be done a few times a day if you're not walking around very much. If you are walking a lot, then you can afford to reduce the frequency of the exercise. So the next great exercise we've got for improving blood flow and circulation in the legs is the standing calf raise. And this is a brilliant exercise for activating the upper part of the calf. It's really important for walking, but the calf is such an important muscle for blood flow in the lower legs, and doing it in a standing position is a much better way really of activating it if you can. So I'll show you this exercise. Basically, you just need something to hold on to. So I'm going to use the back of the chair, and you just want a couple of fingers on there for balance. And the calf raise is really simple. You're going to have your feet about hip width apart, your hands on something to balance, and you're just going to raise up onto your tiptoes and then slowly come back down. So unlike some of the other exercises where we do this really slowly, we're going to try and do this nice and briskly. So you're sort of coming up with 2, down with 2, up with 2, down with 2, getting those calf muscles working. And you can probably feel after you do 10 or 15 of these that the calf muscle is having to contract to push your body weight up, and that will help with circulation. Now, if you can do 20 of these with no problems and you don't feel any kind of tiredness in your calf whatsoever, you can do this on one leg, and that would be a little bit more effective at improving the circulation on that leg. So feel free to try it like that if it's safe for you to do so. I'll show you on the other side how that looks. That looks like this. And again, this is a great exercise to do if you're housebound, but you're still walking around. And every time you go to the kitchen to make a cup of tea or coffee, you can do a set of 10 or 20 of these, and you will notice that the swelling in your legs over time starts to reduce for most people. And then the fourth exercise I've got for you today that improves blood flow and circulation is the squat. And the squat is the mother of all lower limb exercises. It works almost all of the muscles throughout the lower limb, and it's a great exercise for strength, but not just strength, because it also improves blood flow. It's going to make sure that these muscles up here are contracting, which means that once the blood is coming past the knee, we've got the last bit of the journey before it gets into the abdomen, and that is using the quads to push it back up. So the squat is a nice exercise. People fear it because they think they have to go right down to the floor, but you don't. You only need to go 6 inches down to make this effective. You can go deeper if you want to, but don't worry if you can't. So what I recommend people do is they have their feet about shoulder width apart, so a little bit wider, have something in front of you to hold on to, and the movement is like this. You're going to sit back and then come up again. So the first thing that happens is your bottom goes behind you, then you bend your knees, and you want your your knees to be moving over your toes, okay? So a couple of common mistakes I see people make. Some people do it like this, where they don't get the hips involved, and as soon as you hit some ankle stiffness, you can't go any lower, so that's no good. The other thing I see people do is they do all hips, so they don't bend their knee at all. And that also is no good, because then you're not using your thighs. So we want a combination of hip and thigh movement as well. So you've got your hands on something, you're sitting back. Imagine you've got a chair behind you, you're not quite touching it, and then you're coming back up. So hips and knees. Now, if this is uncomfortable for you, but it's still safe for you to do it, then just do small squats. So you still get benefit from going down a couple of inches. That's still beneficial. I can still feel these muscles pumping, which is what we want. But if you can go deeper and it doesn't hurt, feel free to go down to 90 degrees and back up again. You don't need to go much further than 90 degrees if we're just doing it for blood flow purposes. But obviously, if you can go down further, you'll get a better workout for your muscles. So I recommend most people do this exercise somewhere between 10 or 15 in a row. And again, do this a few times a day, especially if you're housebound, for better blood flow and circulation in your legs. So those are my 4 best exercises for seniors to improve blood flow and circulation in their legs. I hope you'll see that these are nice and easy things that you can do at home without needing to walk miles and miles, and they should decrease the swelling in your legs and improve the circulation as a result. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. And if you want more from me, please feel free to pick up a copy of my book. It's called Thriving Beyond 50, and you can find it on Amazon using the link below. Anyway, that's all from me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.